Mr. Felix.
Yes, yes, Bana Suleiman.
How are you, Mr.?
I'm well. I hope you're well too.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
I'm glad.
I'm supposed to be giving the controls to you, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. There you are.
Okay, I see. Oh, I've seen. So I can share my screen and all that.
Yeah, stop mine. Maybe you can prepare.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that. Wow, this is a crazy name. I can't.
Honestly, who's this?
Oh, it's coming here.
Yes, that's Jacinta.
Wow, that was strange.
Hi, Musindi.
Hi. How are you, sir?
Good. You look good. Eh? Kabasa Kondoro. Sio kababa.
Yes.
You know, these guys christened me Kababa.
Because Kabasa, you just change the S to D. It's done.
Yeah. So, but what is in a name?
Everything.
Pinto by any other name.
No, that one can't work with Pinto. Pinto by any other name wouldn't be Pinto.
All right.
Okay.
Hi, Suleiman.
Hi, Mister. How are you?
I am okay, man.
In silence.
I've been struggling. I'm working in silence. I prefer my work to make noise on my behalf.
To make noise for you.
Yes, I'm not that so loud.
Okay.
I can see Wambua.
Pinto, you see, I have been quarantining myself.
No wonder.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm well.
I can see Boaz is doing some good work.
I'm following government regulations.
You tried to borrow everything from Boaz. Did you get copyright and patent the legality of that?
My internet is okay. My internet is getting issues.
It's okay, Musindi.
It's okay now. Yes, it's okay now.
Mr. Makari.
Hi, Mr. Musindi.
Hi to you. I hope you're well, Madam Winfred.
I'm good.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Musindi.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, Mr. Koya has some power problem. So he may join us in the process or not, but you have all the tools of power to take us through.
Yes, I have Mr. Suleiman here. But then, Mr. Suleiman, are you recording?
Yes.
Oh, it's being recorded.
You can also record on your side. Don't worry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
This person with a very crazy funny name. It's not a name.
Adelaide is also our.
Yeah, we have some teachers from the girls' school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Felix.
Yeah.
What's the meeting about?
We saw some weird codes here, looking like a name. I think Mr. Musindi, you saw that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
and then it disappeared.
Yeah, I removed that.
Oh, okay. Yes, okay. And then there are two Irenes here. There's Irene, and then there's the guest.
Let them join. Maybe
Okay.
phone and also.
Okay, thank you. Now,
just carry on. I'll be admitting the
others. Okay. I would one, I have to admit I'm not an expert in this. I'm still also learning. I was just requested to share something that I did when it comes to marking. So I only want to share a small part on the marking. And of course, there are things I also don't know. I would also request to learn from you. So what I just wanted as for today to get to the tasks and get to see when the task is done, because we had a sharing yesterday and a few members had expressed reservations on the marking, that they had to get a third party app for them to get to mark. And then there was this part when I was marking, and I was able to mark within the FIREFLY, the system. So there was a request that we get to share today on how to mark within the FIREFLY system, and that's what I intend to do. So it's not something that's very complicated, nor will take a long time, or it's something that we've been doing before, but for the sake of the few that had expressed reservations yesterday, the admin thought it fit for us to go through the marking. And of course, the likes of Mr. Suleiman and the admins already know this. So they also wanted us to get to show whether we know or not. So these are basically a sharing on how to mark and learning from one another. First of all, if I have to remind myself about if I have to remind myself about the tasks, first of all, we set a new task, something we all have done. My internet will be slower, so it might take a few openings. So when it comes to setting the task, I believe we all have set tasks. First of all, when you open the set new task, you get this template, and then you can choose your classes, or you can choose individual students when you get to your students, or you can choose to send that to all groups. So at this point, you choose one class. In this case, for example, I just choose year 10. It will be highlighted there. That's year 10. And then you could decide to type the name or the names of the teachers. I teach GP together with Mr. Mogire. I could write my name and Mr. Mogire's name there. And then, of course, the title task. The task of the title of the task we are doing. Maybe it's an argument. It's evaluating an argument. So we just write there, evaluating an argument. So we just have, oh, sorry, I thought that house. So just write the task there, the start date, and then of course the due date, you'll get it there. And I prefer having this on so that I also have parents can still access. And when I mark, automatically the marks are updated in the MacBook. For me, in global perspectives, most of the questions I give are questions that need paragraphs. So I need students to type and then upload. So I'll choose this one, required to upload a file. So I'll choose yes, because if you don't choose this, then the students will not be given the option to upload a file if they would want to. So I choose yes to upload a file. I put in the marks there. And then get to the question. In this case, for me, I'll just choose the file upload or automatic. If you want multiple choice, you want a text, you want paragraphs, so you'll have to type the question there. For example, if you want multiple choices, and then you'll come to if it's a multiple choice, of course, then this will be this will be unchecked. So you have the choices there. You'll just add the choices. And of course, you have to choose which choice is correct so that when that is marked by the system can automatically get the right answer. Anything that is not that one then will be wrong. Or you can choose text line, the same, those questions that need just a line or one word. And then of course, you'll have the questions and the correct answer. You still add, if you can have 3, 4 answers, still those answers will be there, so that when the system marks, then it will consider anything that has not been put here automatically becomes a wrong answer. Or you could choose a paragraph. You see, when you choose the paragraph, automatically this becomes marked manually because the system cannot mark paragraphs. Or true or false questions or file upload, then you have to mark manually. So for me, I choose file upload, and of course I mark manually. And then at the end of the day, once that is done, you can maybe attach a file. That question, it could be a video, an image, or something. Then you attach it there, and then you can set your task. The task will be set. Let's go back to that was setting a new task. I want to go back to my dashboard. So once that has been set, of course, when you come to tasks, this is what will happen for me in marking. Maybe you might have a different experience that you would want to share. So for me, I'll choose once this tasks that I've given appear there, I can decide to choose one. For example, if I want to mark, like you see, there are 3, 6 have been handed in. I think I marked 3, 3 are yet to be marked. So just get to that specific task, the argument. So I'm opening it. There, it's been opened. So I can get to see who has completed the task. Like you can see, in this case, Ramla Ahmed Abuka has completed the task. Anthony has completed the task. Anissa is yet to complete that task. So yesterday, what we were just debating on was up to this point, when you get to this point, then how are you supposed to mark that work? So for me, on the name of that student, when I click the name of that student, this is what comes. So I have 2 options here. There is the option to view file and the option to download the file. So many people opted for the option to download. I opt for the option to view file. So when I click on view file, automatically that file will be converted to a PDF document, which is happening now. It's a bit of yes, there it is. The document has been opened. So I went to view file, not to download the file. So the file is automatically changed to PDF. And you can see up here, you have a number of things you can use. So I choose the pen. If I choose the pen, then automatically I'm using my pen tablet. I can automatically write on this document using my pen tablet. I can mark, I can do many things. When you choose this gives you the option that is the pen. Now you can write on the document anywhere you want. You can make comments. You can write anything you want to do on that comment, on that document. If you choose the second one, this one gives you, now you can maybe I want this part, or sorry, like I would want this part to be changed depending on the document. I can now get that into a box and then maybe draw an arrow there and then write something that I think should be done in that part. I could choose that one, and that one gives you the circle, so you can circle on anything that you want. and then still come back to pen and make whatever comment you wanted. You can now comment. I was trying to use the mouse, unfortunately. You can comment anything you want to comment on that part of the document. That gives you.
Musindi, can you scroll that paper upwards?
You can maybe do some editing. I'm trying to, but then it's not accepting. My screen is just small. I'm trying to, but then it's not accepting to go upward. But I don't know. Oh, there, yes. Yes, hey.
At least I have seen that it is not leaving the writing on that page. That's good. Thank you.
Oh, there. So, okay. So the third part, this one, you can maybe like this part, I wanted this student to insert more text. So this one just gives you that option of insert text. This one is highlight. Of course, you can highlight on that document, whatever the student has done. If I want that bit, I can highlight whatever the student has done. And then once highlighted, come back to my pen and make the comment I wanted to make on that part. This underlines any part that you want. If maybe I want to underline this, just get to this, that will underline. This will cross out any word that you don't want. Like if I need to cross out some substance, like this one, I can cross out all that. You can also put a note. For example, maybe at the end of this, I wanted to put some note there. I can put a note and just type whatever information I think I wanted the student to include there. If I want a note here, I'll still go back to this and then get the note there and then type whatever I felt that that student should have done at that point. So basically, this is what I've used in marking. And of course, this will remove all the marks you put on the paper. And this will remove the last mark you put on the paper. So this removes all the marks at once, but this removes one at a time, the last one going backward. This will redo the same, the undo and redo. This will download the document. If I click on this, the document will be downloaded. And of course, once I'm done with marking here, it's downloaded there because I clicked on this. Once I'm done with the marking, then I go to marks and feedback. When I click on marks and feedback, I can give this student the marks I wanted, because when I gave the assignment, of course, I gave it out of 100%. So after marking this, maybe scored 60%, I can still give the student 60. And in the feedback, I'll write whatever feedback I would want to give to this student. Once that is done, I'll save. I don't want to save because this I just for sure, and I'm yet to mark that paper. So then I'll save mark here. You save the mark and then you save the document here. When you save the mark and you save the document, when you save the mark and you save the document, you'll see in this case, it tells me at this point, revert to do. That means if I click, because that one is already been marked, if I click here, oh, this one is yet to be. When I click here, it will go back to the student and the student has to do it afresh. But then once I save the marks and I save the document, it should bring me this, confirm as completed. So I'll click on confirm as completed. Once that has been done, then this send response will be highlighted. It will be blue. Once I confirm as then the feedback this also will change. For example, this one claimed as completed, That's the student has claimed as completed. For me, once I send response to the student, this will be confirmed as completed. So this will be confirmed as completed. So the student can see what I've marked and the feedback that I have given back. So basically, that's what I do when it comes to marking. I don't have to use another third party to mark the work that I've done. I just mark the work on the same system where I posted it. Something before someone asks it, I have not yet tried the other set of questions where you have the other set of questions. Okay, there were some questions here. Which one do you use to change the color of my pen, of your pen? I'm also still working on that. I've not yet gotten to know which one I can change color with. I'm still not yet very clear because the first time I got it was just blue. I've tried searching for a different color. Unfortunately, I've not found another color. So that would be it. Unfortunately, the color is only one color. You can't get another one. You only find the blue one. I haven't found a different color to mark that work. Questions now? Concerns? Like we said, it's still learning. Also, I'm still learning. I have not yet marked the other set of questions where the students are not supposed to attach a document, but I feel it appears the same way, and the marking still happens in the same way. Unless there is a question, Mr. Mogire, Mr. Suleiman, anything? Unless there's a question, I think I'm done.
Yes, going through the charts.
Yes. Mr. Suleiman has been helping me answer some of the questions.
Okay.
If you decide to download, then it means you'll have to use a third party like the PDF Exchange. So that means you'll have to use a different program. If you download, then it means it just comes to your computer, and from your computer, then you can use another third party to mark. Still, it works, but then that means then getting it back to the student also you'll have to do quite a lot. But then on the system, once you mark and save, send it back to the student, it is faster, and you don't have to use another app, and you don't have to resend to the student through another means. So I find this a bit quicker. And the marks are automatically saved there. If I go to MacBook, if I go to MacBook, yes, there it opens. You'll find the marks because I've given 2 assignments. The marks for assignment 1 for every student, the marks for assignment 2 for every student, and you still can put the target what you expected that. And this is kept there forever, such that when you want to get the marks, you still can copy from here, paste to courses. So I find it better when I mark it through the system. The system keeps, I still have a copy of the student's document. I still have the marks kept within the system. And like if I download it, then I have to keep the marks somewhere else. So I find it better using.
Mr. Musindi?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Did you award your?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Did I award?
Where did you get this one?
Okay, let me go back. I've gone back to my tasks. This is just the beginning. When you click tasks, this is what comes. These are the tasks. So someone was asking if I awarded. Let's use, let me see. Yeah, let me use this one. A different class again. Is this a different class? No, this is the same class. Let me try a different class where I had already marked and awarded a few students. Then we look at the mark book and see how it appears. I think let me use this one. Yes, this one I had marked. You see, this now appears as confirmed as complete, meaning I've returned that to the student. So if I go to my mark book for this class, sorry, my connection. Just a minute, my connection was bad. Yes, if I go to the mark book for that class, then you can get to see the ones I have marked and given back feedback. The marks automatically appear in the mark book. Now can you see this is the assignment 1, this was assignment 2. Those who submitted are marked and I've indicated the marks there. So these marks are kept here. I can just copy from here, then put to pull. So I don't have to go to somewhere else to get the marks. Let me get to the if someone asks, kindly take us to your mark book. The mark book is there. I think you've seen it. The marks will appear after you've completed the tasks. The marks appear once you have saved the marks, because when we are looking at the marking, after marking, there's a part where you input the marks and the feedback to the student. Once you save that, automatically the marks are put in the mark book. So when you go to the mark book, automatically you find the marks saved there. How you could paste the marks from that one. Now I can't demonstrate now. That one it's manual. I don't think there's a way you can just copy and paste from the other side. I don't think there's a way you can copy directly to courses. You have to do it manually. You have to confirm the work as done to view all the you have to yes, thank you. Is it possible to upload marked back to learners? Yes, we said so. We said if you allow me to go back to, someone is asking if we can, we said after marking, after you've marked, you put your feedback, and then this point will appear like this one. It will appear confirm as completed. Once you confirm as completed, then we said this will be highlighted, send responses, then you can send that response. When you send the response, the learner can see the paper, all the annotations you have put on the paper, can get the feedback you had given, and can still see the marks that you awarded. So the learner can see everything that you did on that paper. No, it doesn't just take marks ending with 0 or 5. It takes the mark you put there. It can be 48, it can be 42, 75, 73, or any mark that you put there. Can it accept all numbers? Yes, it can. It can accept any number. I don't think you can export courses marks exactly just directly to courses. I'm not sure.
You can, Mr. Musindi.
You can. Oh,
yeah, from your MacBook.
Oh, direct to courses.
Yes. No, to an Excel sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. That one I didn't know. Then someone is asking if you can enter marks like 89, 47, 67. Yes, like we said, you can enter any mark that you'd want. 96, 42, any marks that you'd want. So I have not tried the one for exporting to Excel sheet. That one, it is here. Sorry, I get it. Yes, it is at this point. You can export to Excel. I've seen it. Thank you very much. Then from the Excel sheet, you can get it to courses.
Madam Agnes. Madam Agnes.
Yes, please.
Do you mean you can take from Excel sheet to courses directly?
I think so.
That's new, madam.
Depending on how the students have been arranged, the names of the students.
Okay. Interesting. Sasa.
Asking whether you can upload the file to the students once you mark it using a third party. Yes, you can, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you'll upload it, but I guess you can. But I've not tried using a third party. For me, I just use the system itself. I've not used a third party. Someone was asking how you can get the marks and the paper to the student once you use a third party to mark. I have not tried using a third party. Like I said, I'm still exploring. I'm also out to learn. Maybe someone who has tried it could try. Mr. Mbati, I think Mr. Mbati has tried. Mr. Mbati was explaining to us how he uses third party to mark. Maybe he might have an idea of how to transfer now to the student the marked paper and the marks. But for now, I don't know. Or anyone who has an idea who uses a third party, how do you then get the marks and the annotations to the student?
I think if I may answer that.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I tried by, you go to more. Can you go to your, go to more.
More on the.
There is the more there, down there, up there.
Yes.
Then you can be able to upload the document there and send it to the student.
Send it to the student.
Maybe you can try from your side. We see more.
More on
the right corner up.
This one. On the yes, I'm here.
Yeah, go back to where the exam was being marked from.
Okay.
Where you're marking the exam.
Yeah, I'm going back there. Taking a bit of time to get back to the exam.
Okay,
let me just get a copy here. Like
okay, can you go back to the where the exam was? I think you are in the MacBook right now.
Yes. Now I'm back to, I'm looking at an exam that has been done. That my internet is the problem. I think my internet is.
Felix, can I take over? Maybe I show how she.
Yeah, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Suleiman. If you can do so,
yeah.
Thank you very much.
I am hoping that this is what she was referring to. This is
yes. Now it's there. Now, can you see more?
Yes, I've seen more.
File and upload it to the student.
Yeah, I think you can be able to see more there up, right?
Yes. Okay, that's, I've learned something. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Felix, you can carry on.
Anything else? So basically, that's all that I had. And also, I think I'm done. I don't think there's anything else, Mr. Suleiman. I think I'm done because I don't see any other questions. So you can take over, Mr. Suleiman.
Mr. Musindi, before you leave, I was having a question.
Yes.
What happens, because there are two options. You can mark the work from this site, or you can as well download as a PDF.
Yes.
Now, when you download and maybe use some other applications, maybe you're looking for a different pen to mark the work.
Mark the work, yes.
How do you upload back? Which is the process?
Okay, the same, what Mr. Suleiman has just shown us, after you've marked it in your computer, when you get to more, this point, I hope you can see this point, Mr. Chalo. The more,
yes, I can see.
This point. When you click this point, then you can add file. You see, now you can add file attach file from computer. From your computer, then you can attach it, save file, and then you can submit to the student. Okay. So from the more option at this point, you still can attach it and send to your student.
Okay.
So whichever process you find easier and working for you, it's okay. Yes, let me see if I see more questions in the chat. Thank you very much. Mr. Suleiman, you can take over.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. That was good. So I just wanted to challenge each one of us. It won't take much. I think after some time we'll end this. So just a challenge to everyone. Those who had downloaded the software for the pen tablet, the Star G640. I'm not sure if this is possible. It's just a challenge. You can try it. As one of us had asked if we are able to use a different color when we are marking the assignments, try to check from the settings application that you have downloaded from your computer. Try to open the settings and check if you are able to change the color of the pen tablet. Just try to check that if it's possible. I think that will have helped.
Mr. Suleiman?
Yes, Miss Win.
Yeah, it's possible if you have the settings. I've been using it in all colors, pink, blue, yellow, and all colors.
Thank you, Miss Winfred. At least now it has solved almost everything.
Same to me, Mr. Suleiman. I've also used it during my lessons.
Thank you, Miss Agnes.
I've also used it, Mr. Lehman.
Have fun. Everyone has used it. That's nice.
Yeah, I've used different colors, yeah.
Okay, so just to mention something about the tasks is that on our end, we are trying to solve the misery of paperless. Now we have shifted from Google Classroom and we're using FIREFLY, and we are trying our best, at least not on the other hand of the student, on the other side of the student, we are trying to minimize the work of downloading documents from FIREFLY, printing them, then doing the work on the paper, scanning them back again, send it to you via FIREFLY. So that's what we are trying to minimize. So there are some questions that have been asked from teachers and also from parents about how they're supposed to submit some work that has been given to their kids in FIREFLY. Now, a point to note, this is Mr. Felix's account. I'll just use it. When you set a new task, please, this is very important. And you've put the students that you want to set the task to, and also the co-owner details. You've inserted the details. You've put the start date and the due date. Below here under descriptions, there was one teacher who was asking if they post questions here, just copy pasting some, let's say, I get some questions here. Questions, just random questions I want to. Now, if these are the questions you've copy pasted from your, let's say PDF, you have a past paper, but it's in PDF, then you take these and paste it here in the description. Please note that even if you've arranged these into question form, you put the question characters like that, left some spaces here, written answer. Maybe you put some lines like that so that you want the student to answer. Please note that posting the questions directly here or typing the questions directly under descriptions won't allow the students to insert text or to give feedback to your task description. This is very important. Note that if you paste or type your questions under task description, the student won't be able to insert text as feedback or as a response to your task. If you also attach a file, there are two ways that you can attach a file. By clicking under description, you can click the file icon there and select a file from your computer. Just like that, select file. from your computer, let's say this one, you can add that file to your task description. So this one, add like that. So that file will be added under your description. You can also add this file under attach file. There's attachments here. Now, when you attach a file like this and you request the student to do the questions, the student will view this task just, let me preview this, the same way I'm previewing here. As you can see that this is the instructions, and the task, I can't type anything under the answer. There's no way under the description I can insert anything. And if it's for the document, the student can't annotate on this document. The only thing they can do is view, scroll within the document and download that document. So the task that Mr. Musindi was demonstrating was a task where you require the students to have done the questions somewhere, let's say in Microsoft Word, PDF. The student already has the document. The only thing the student is required is to send a submission by attaching a file. So the student can do that by sending a file to your assignment, or when you've given this type of question here, when you click question and you select file upload, the student will have a space where they can attach that file. Let's say this is question, and then I've selected file upload, done. Now, as you can see here, when I click preview, under this question here, I can choose a file and attach that file under that question. This is question 10, and there's an option to choose a file. So all this depends on how you as a teacher will give the task to the students. Now, if you want something, or you want your assignment or your task to be automatically marked by the system, you'll have to use these questions. And the first question here, you can type something like, let's say question 1. Then you give the type of question by clicking question. Then we have these 5 options under the type of questions. So when you use multiple choices, the system can mark for you automatically. And when you use text line, the system can also mark for you. When you use text paragraph, the system can't mark for you, or is unable to mark this, as Mr. Felix explained. It's automatically marked manually. When you use true and false, that's when the system now can decide. You can decide whether to mark it manually or automatically. So the automatically ones are multiple choices, text line, and true or false. The other 2, text paragraph and a file upload, that means you as a teacher will have to grade the students on that task. So please, let's note on that. So in case, I mostly advise teachers to use this type of questions here to give to the students. Or unless you want the student to download that, do it, then attach that as a submission. And if you want the student to attach something as a submission, please ensure that you use this type of question, file upload, so that the student is able to attach that file. From your end, you'll be able to annotate, mark that assignment using the pen tablet, and also grade that. So that was about how you set a given task. One more thing about the task responses. When you come to the responses, or when you click tasks, you'll be able to see these task responses. When you click tasks here, I'm able to see these tasks. And when I click a given task, let's say argument 1, argument 2. When I click that, I'm able to view all the students that have been assigned that task on my left, and the task responses. And even the system tells you how many students have submitted that work or marked as done. And the task overview, you are able to see how you described and you gave that task to the students. As you can see here, the description is here. And this is how the task or assignment was given to the students. So under responses, just want to mention this and make it clear to every teacher. In each and every student's response, you can still work this as a chart. A chart meaning that when the student submits the work to you, you can mark that work, grade it, then send it back as a response to the student to see the grade and also how you marked that work. The student can also reply to the same task that has been sent as a response to them. They can respond to that. They can also annotate on the file that was attached previously on that file. So as you can see here on the right-hand side, from the bottom, we have the task description. Then after that, there is this other section here that says you marked the task as complete. So all these actions that the teacher and the students are doing, they are categorized into these sections. So the first section below here, it was for the teacher who gave the task. As you can see, this is a task description. Then this student, Nasra Ahmed Abubakar, marked the task as done. She didn't attach any file. And when she marked that, a response was sent to the teacher that you confirm the task is complete. Okay, I can see that it's Mr. Felix here who confirmed that it's complete. So you confirm the task as complete. So when the student confirms the task as complete, it also shows here that the student confirmed as complete. If a file has been attached to that task, you also be able to view the file or download the file from here. So it's categorized into the sections, and you're able to even, let's say, go through what happened during that task since the assignment of the task until the submission. If there's some responses, you're able to chart. It's just like a chart. So if you mark this and send response, the student will see a section of the response. And also your side will see that section of response. Then the student can decide to send another file on the same task. And you'll be able to see another section here that the student has submitted another file on that assignment. So it's a kind of like a chart. You send a file, I also send a file. You send a response, I also send a response, like that, until you mark that work as complete. So for the one who was asking how you export the marks to the MacBook, you have to mark the assignment to that specific student or all the students. When you click all student here, it gives you these options that you can mark or confirm this as completed. If you confirm as completed, immediately the marks are exported to the MacBook. One more thing is that submissions can be done or responses can be done anytime that the student wishes to do that. For example, if the student wants to send another response to your work, they can do that by clicking send a file. They have that option. Unless you mark the task as done, that's when the student will see that the task as completed. When you go to the MacBook, you're able to see these options here. Like we have some arrows here where you can navigate from the students. If you have many students here, you can go to the next student, the other page of the students, like that. And also we have the given subject here. You can select the subjects that you want to view, the assignments or tasks. You can also add a completed task directly from the MacBook. When you click add, it will ask you for the type of task that is complete, and you're able to add that there. One more thing, let me discard this. Below here, we have the profiles for the given subject and also export to Excel. As Miss Agnes had replied that you're able to export the marks to an Excel file. Now, this Excel file, I think I tried to do that in FIREFLY. It's only one way where you're able to export but not import an Excel file for maybe marks. So for example, if you export these marks, you'll have the marks in an Excel sheet, but putting them into Coolsys, that means you'll have to do that manually. So Coolsys doesn't have that a bulk upload of the marks directly into their system. So you'll have to go to each individual student, type the marks there. Now, if you click any of these marks here, it will give you the description of that task on the right-hand side. Like this is 70 for Nasra. When I click that, I'm able to see all these details and the responses that the student gave on the right-hand side. So I hope that is clear on how you give the task. Most of the parents are really getting a challenge on how they should submit this task. So it is you as a teacher who should take the responsibility of giving a certain work that you know the student will be able to give you a response. So any questions? Maybe I think Mr. Felix did a wonderful job today. Thank you, Mr. Felix. Any questions from
very much? I appreciate
participants? Any question about the task, setting a new task, how you are able to mark that and the rest? Let me check the charts. Yeah, I think there are no questions. Mr. Felix Mugire, can give you a hand if you want to mention something.
No, I welcome Mr. Quer to say something and then we call it a day. But before I bring him on board, to the colleagues from our school, kindly let's take attendance. We have
Mr. Felix.
This I have from my end. And just a quick, there's some colleagues inboxed me on WhatsApp asking whether are we going to be having this.
Mr. Felix, people can't hear you. Mr. Felix? Maybe there's some issues with the internet. Mr. Felix, are you still there?
Yes, Mr. Suleiman. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
You disappeared.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm saying there are some colleagues who texted on WhatsApp asking whether are we going to be having these meetings every day for the coming weeks. My response is we will be having these meetings when need be, especially when we will need to clarify a few things. And I urge all of us to take them positively because at the end of the day, they are meant to polish us in one way or the other. So we shall not be having them every day as from next week, but on need-to-need basis. Mr. Quer.
Well, thank you, Felix Musindi. Thank you, Felix Mugire. Felix Squared, actually. Mine, just to pick up from where Mr. Mugire has left. The reason why we are having these meetings every day, I think, as Mr. Principal had put it already, we are all in a ship. Firefly is a new kid on the block, and we are trying to learn this kid to understand him or her better. So with the input of Mr. Ndolo yesterday, of course, Suleiman has been quite vital in the entire process. Now, Mr. Musindi today also. What I believe in is that when you share whatever small aspect that you've learned from the system with the rest, trust me guys, you learn it better actually. And that's how maybe using your unique way to share with the rest, I think the point normally is taken home. So I want to request or appeal to our teachers, let's explore the Firefly. And now that we are almost having our mid-of-term exams from next week, it's good if we explore either with tasks based on cards or assignments or homeworks. The more experience the challenges, you're able to unravel or know the answer to it, I think it makes works easier on our side. That is what I have for you guys. Otherwise, I want to wish you the very best. Today is Friday. We are now done with week 2. We hope week 3 will also come with less challenges as we go ahead with exams now. Thank you, and God bless you guys.
Mr. Musindi, kudos.
Yes. Thank you. I
Kudos,
appreciate it. I'm humbled.
Thank you, Mr. Musindi.
Welcome.
Mr. Musindi.
Yes.
Kazi nzuri hapo.
Asante sana.
Mr. Musindi.
Yes.
Aunyoi ndevu?
Kwa nyumba hatutoki.
Chibaji.
Penyolea wapi na kwa nyumba hatutoki? Yes.
Chibaji thank.
Musindi ni afadhali, umeona boss?
Kwa nyumba hatutoki, tutanyolea wapi? I appreciate. Thank you very much.
Asante Mr. Musindi.
Bye.
Bye.
Cindy.
Yes. Lydia.
Thank you. I'm going to DM you right now. I'm going to DM you.
Sawa. Sawa.
Sema tuko ushago na wenye tuko town.
Cindy, end meeting.
Mr. Musindi, you can share the recording also.